Yo, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? After a brief hiatus, a couple of weeks, man, your boy is back. It's the Ike's Tech Talk weekly live stream, man. So glad to be back with y'all, man. Had to take, like I said, just a short little intermission and break, man. The first week, my bathroom literally flooded the entire hallway. So I have like this big humidifier type device and everything, and it was way too loud. I wasn't gonna subject you guys to that, man. And then the second week, me and the missus decided to take just like a little short hiatus and kind of just staycation, just us two. We didn't have any of the kids, and we literally just did our thing, man. So, like I said, I had to take a little bit break, but man, am I glad to be back with y'all, man. It feels so good to be back here on the live stream grind, man. Channel's doing great. Everybody's doing good. Got a bunch of drama all over this, so we got to talk about that, man. But yo, other than that, man, it's great to be here with y'all tonight. So let's go ahead and get right into roll call as we always do. But just a quick question for you guys: if you have either the Pixel 6 or the Pixel 6 Pro, what has your experience been like thus far? If you don't have a Pixel 6 or 6 Pro, what is stopping you from picking one up? That's going to be the question that I want to ask you guys. Want to know what everybody is feeling in regards to the device, man. So, like I said, while we wait on that, we'll go ahead and get right into the roll call here. Got to make sure I still know how to do this. But also too, audio, video, everything good. Got to make sure everything good. Like I said, it's been a little bit, so got to make sure everything is good to go, man. But the homie Kenny is in the building. Was the first, man. You can hit first. It was first in. GG, what's going on? What's going on? Got Miss Shay, the queen of Steeler Nation. How you doing? How you doing? The Hawks, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, my brother, what's going on, LaShawn? What's going on, man? Oh, man. Barry, hey, that's another one right there. What's going on? What's going on, man? Oh, the Hawks said lack of product availability, man. Yo, let's go ahead and just get into that real quick. So, straight up, man, like I feel like that's definitely going to hamper not even just like the Pixel 6 line, but just Google as a whole. I think they put out a really solid offering this year in terms of the Pixel 6 series. Now, what I feel like they need to focus on is actually expanding that availability, not just of like Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro, but even like the A line to areas like Malaysia and India, all these other places that you can't get a Pixel right now. A good friend of mine, Box of Tech, he's out in Malaysia, and he's like, bro, I would absolutely love to try a Pixel, but I can't get it here. So I think that's kind of like the next frontier of what of where Google needs to go, in my opinion. So I honestly don't know, man. But yeah, I think that's definitely going to be kind of a problem. I wonder how long the whole shortage will actually last. I know like with the iPhone, normally within like about the first month and a half to 2 months, you can normally find what option, color, all that stuff you're looking for. I can't remember the last time like a Samsung device actually like went on back order and was on back order for a long time. But hopefully Google's able to get the ball rolling on that, man, and really get it going. So like I said, hopefully, like I said, because this it sucks that more people can't get these and enjoy them. I think a lot of people would enjoy them, bugs and all, because obviously we're definitely gonna talk about that too. Yo, LaShawn said good on audio and video. Sounds good. Sounds good. Appreciate that, my homie. Barry said I might be in lurk mode tonight. Ike, speaking of the wife, sending me to the store. Okay, perfect. Not a problem at all, Barry. Appreciate you, man. Yo, 504 is in the building. What's going on, my dude? What's going on? Hey, Kitty said, what's stopping me? He glances over. That's pretty funny, man. Like, for real. I can definitely see that being a thing for sure. Because, yo, got to make sure that it is cleared up with your partner in crime. For sure, man. For sure. Hawks, I also feel like they didn't make as many devices up front. Okay, definitely. Like I said, that's definitely a theory too. Some people are thinking that it's the other way, where it's not that they didn't make enough devices. It's more so that the demand in terms of what they expected far exceeded what, or the supply was limited compared to what they expected, right? Supposedly they're looking at like 6 times the like demand for the phones, which is crazy, man. I don't know if they just, like you said, Hawks just didn't make enough and now they need 6 times the amount, or whatever the case may be. Either way, no matter how you look at it, it's definitely good that Google are selling these devices, because when they're sold out everywhere, I mean, from carrier stores to Target to Best Buy to the Google store itself, like, it's not just us tech enthusiasts buying this phone. You know what I mean? So that kind of makes me feel like all the marketing that they did is definitely paying off. I still do think that this is the first step, though. I don't think that this is the end game. I think that Google needs to kind of keep that momentum going and kind of continue to push forward, because it's one thing to cause a ripple one year, you know what I mean? Like, you got the whole industry watching you. But in order to kind of keep that momentum going, you, like I said, you kind of have to just do the same things. Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily have to come in and continue to undercut the competition every single year, but I definitely do think that they need to keep their eye on the prize and get that third place spot first before we can even talk about trying to take market share from, say, Samsung and Apple. But we'll definitely see, man. We'll definitely see. Yo, Savage, what's going on, my dude? It seems that most companies are doing this so they don't end up with additional stocks. Yeah, and I see that too. Like, it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, right? Because if you make too much supply and everyone can get one, not saying that it kind of like downplays the hype or like the desire to want it, but you could end up having a ton of devices on the shelves. But then looking at the flip side, if people who want it can't get it in a timely fashion, maybe they'll go buy that Galaxy or go buy that iPhone instead. So you kind of end up in a crappy situation either way. But like I said, hopefully Google can get a grip on the whole supply chain thing going on, and they'll be able to kind of figure it all out, what's going on, Mike? Yo, Mike put out a dope video on the 8-in-1 sync wire is the name of the company. 8-in-1 USB-C hub. I actually just ordered one myself. I should already be here. It's out for delivery with Amazon, so it should be here soon, man. But yo, shout out to you for making that, man. It literally was exactly what I needed. A USB-C hub that had 2 USB-C ports, man. One for charging and then the other one for like in external SSD. So that came in clutch, yo, seriously. Why they shouldn't have to worry about chip shortage with making their own chip. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that. I definitely see that, like that aspect of it. But I'm wondering if the components needed to make the chip is where we're seeing the shortage, right? Like I said, people just scream chip shortage for everything nowadays. So I honestly don't know like how that comes into play, or what Google's waiting for, but hopefully they can figure it out. You can get at the carrier stores if you want. Okay, so are they in stock in carrier stores? I know I checked T-Mobile on release day, and the T-Mobile store closest to me right across the street, they didn't even get one. They didn't have any of the Pros, and they had 2 Black 6s. They didn't have any of the Pros, man. Yo, T said the troublemaker is here. Yo, I don't know what's going on, man. T stay catching on. I be just sitting back and just be dying, man. Cause yo, I be like, yo, T, stay with him on his tail, man. And stay with him. But no, in all honesty, man, I feel like there's like a overarching issue that people on both sides of the camp, because you got people on each side of the camp when it comes to Pixel 6 Pro. You got people who are like, yo, I'm trying to, report my issues, talk about them, make sure Google knows about them so we can get the stuff fixed. And you got people in the other camp who is saying, well, we gave Samsung and Apple time to get updates out for their devices. Let's do the same with the Pixel. These are only Android 12 issues. I think the overarching issue on why they seem to continue like to butt heads so much is because no one wants to admit that both sides are right. Like in that, like to me, in that debate, neither of those. Okay, I just got a quick text message. Can't even talk. Neither of those sides are incorrect, man. Like you have pros and cons to both, right? So if you don't share your experience and talk about the things that are wrong, you could, lead somebody astray and have them go pick up a device and they're having these issues. And I mean, let's be 100% real. Like, if somebody's coming from a Galaxy or an iPhone, for them to even go and pick up a Pixel over those devices, if they're not familiar with like the Pixel brand, is already a miracle in its own right, because carriers are pushing Samsung and Apple so much. So you kind of, and it sucks to some degree, because like you only get that first impression to make a lasting impression. And if their first impression is system UI crashes, then they may not be so forgiving. Like, they may not be techie and know, like we know Google is eventually going to update this phone and they're going to fix, if not all of the bugs, right? So you kind of got to look at it from that standpoint. But then you got the other standpoint where you're looking at it like, Samsung, for the device to be where it is today, which we're comparing Pixel 6 Pro to S21 Ultra, but S21 Ultra had pretty much a year, 10 months, because the phone came out in January, had 10 months of software updates to get it to where it is now, right? iPhones already had 3 or 4 updates. I think they had 3 roll out and then they have 1 in beta. So it's like those devices got updates to kind of make the experience what it is today for those. I mean, both of those phones had major issues out the gate. The S21 Ultra for me overheated. I had lag in the camera, and not just like the actual shutter lag. That unfortunately is still a thing. But in terms of like switching focal lens on the actual lenses, I had issues with that lagging. And like I said, Samsung had to patch all that stuff out. But like I said, I get both sides of the argument. I don't think that either side is wrong. I think that both sides just need to calm down a little bit and just acknowledge the other side for being right where it is. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, if we're going to call ourselves tech reviewers, we have to give our experience, because ultimately we're trying to get someone to make an informed decision, not necessarily sell someone on a device. So like I said, both sides, in my opinion, are correct. I honestly don't take a side when it comes to it. I think Google's going to update the phone and the phone's going to be great. And when they do finally get Android 12 up and running the way it should be, I'm honestly going to have a hard time recommending someone to go buy an S21 Ultra, or if they're not tied to the Apple ecosystem, an iPhone over a Pixel 6 Pro, just from a price perspective. Hawk said Pixel 6 seems to be what's in stock. Okay, so you can get like a normal 6, but that 6 Pro, not at all. Yo, Mark Momoa himself, yes, man, your eyes do not deceive you. Your boy is back, man. Short hiatus, man. Had to take a little bit of break, Ship times for the Pro, I did see that. Ship times in January, I did see that. It's pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. Yo, Lewis, what's going on, man? Hope everything is good with you, my guy. Google might fire their marketing team for being too good. Yo, facts. I mean, I gotta put it like this though. Like, it's honestly a good problem to have. I mean, it kind of sucks because you don't have enough stock, but it's a good problem to have when people want your device and you can't make them fast enough. Like, I kind of feel like that's a good problem to have. Just saying. Yo, Jeff, blessings on your day, man. Have a good one. Yo, Tyreek, what's going on? Hey, there he is. What's going on, Mike? Hope everything is good. Yo, congratulations again on the newborn, man. Shout out to you, man. Congratulations, man. I'm happy that wifey's doing good. Baby girl's doing good. Yo, for real. Congratulations, man. It ain't no feeling like it, man. No feeling like it. And StreamYard just did the super scroll thing where it just scrolls to the bottom for no reason. Google probably looked at previous year. Yeah, no, Hawks, I can actually see that being a thing, yo. Like, they were like, we only sold this many Pixel 5s. Let's make that many Pixel 6s and 6 Pros. So I could definitely see that, man, for sure. Yo, no problem at all, man. Dope video. And like I said, it was exactly what I needed. So I had no problem at all recommending and retweeting that joint out, man, for real. T-Mobile had them online at the beginning of the week. Oh, wow. Okay, that's what's up. So it's like they're kind of like slowly trickling in. That's not bad at all. Because like I was saying before, I was talking, I forget who I was talking to on Twitter, but I was telling them, I was like, look, like, if anything, like, Google wants to get these devices in carrier stores as fast as possible, because like as Juan would say, average consumer, they're not buying a S21 Ultra for even $1,000 off of Amazon. Like they're not buying their phone that way. They're most of the time going to a carrier store. And like Barry shared a Verizon rep that he knows who's pushing all of her customers over to Pixel. Like if you're Google, you want that. You want people getting locked into these devices and really using them and getting familiar with them and liking them, because that's how you build that brand loyalty, which is what Google needs to do right now. So I'm definitely not mad at them at all, man. Like I said, it's a good problem to have, but y'all got to meet that demand at some point, yo. Yo, Drew, man, what's going on? Shout out to you, man. Congratulations on 1,000, bro. Congratulations. What is that? Congratulations. Hey, Shark Fin, what's going on, my dude? Hope everything is good with you, man. Android and iOS both have pros and cons. People just need to buy. Exactly, Hawks. Like I've been saying this for so long. Like I feel like devices are so good that we as like even as tech enthusiasts are having less and less to compare between these devices without it being like based on preference. Like before, when you used to look at say iOS and like early versions of Android, it's like, okay, iOS used to like actual performance used to always perform more fluid and faster than Android. Then Android caught up and in some regards passed iOS. So it's like we lost that argument. Then we had the whole operating system. Well, this can do this and iPhone can't do that. Now iPhone can do that. We lost that comparison. Now we're kind of at this frontier where everybody seems to understand that that choice of OS is preference based. Now this new frontier seems to be the cameras, where I feel like most like flagship devices all take great pictures. What it comes down to, and this is the reason why I do my camera comparisons, is learning and understanding the strengths and weaknesses between each of these camera sets. Like you want to know going into an iPhone, if you take a photo with something with shadows, it's going to crush your shadows, or you may have an issue with an overblown sky because of a HDR glitch or something like that. You want to go into the Pixel knowing that if you shoot low light at night, you may run into like a little bit of issues in terms of grain because it's bumping up that ISO, or you're going to have shutter lag with a Samsung smartphone. So you got to kind of predict the shot a little bit. Like you want to know those things going in. So that's why I always do my camera comparisons the way I do them. And you can't really learn those type of aspects of a camera if you know which smartphone took which camera, because then your bias comes into play, right? So I try to do them that way. And that's no disrespect to like, you know, Danny Wingen or Grant, who labels everything. I just don't like bias to cloud people's judgment in terms of one, what they actually feel took the best shot, or two, looking at the weaknesses and the pros of whatever smartphone I'm doing the comparison on. Like I want you guys to learn this stuff with me, so we know going forward what to talk to Apple, Google, and Samsung about. Because I can tell you, nobody, I'm going to say barely anybody is talking about crushed shadows and HDR being hit or miss on the iPhone. Like it's very few people. Like it's not a general consensus, which is a problem for me. Because these devices don't get better, you know? Yo, and Lewis, that's the exact reason why I was saying I see both sides of that argument. Like I see both sides of that argument, because both are valid. Like you don't want to buy a phone right now based off the fact of, you know, well, Google said they're going to do A, B, C, and D. Like you don't, even if you trust the company, like I trust Google to bring this up to where it needs to be. Like I trust them to do that, but I still don't want to recommend the phone to somebody not expecting to have any type of it, you know, any types of issues. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like I said, for me, I'm perfectly fine with the issues, but like if I gave it to like my mom or something like that, and they had like system UI crash, stuff like that, that might be an issue for them, right? So it all comes down to, hey, your mods may vary. Report your findings, and again, report your findings, show your work, because that right there is the biggest one. Report your findings, show your work, and be a part of the solution. Don't just tell somebody, well, this is trash, or this isn't good enough, or they should have delayed Android 12. Tell me why you feel that way. Show your work, show your evidence. I always tell people, like back in math in elementary school, I used to be able to solve all the equations and problems without showing my work. But I would always get the problems wrong because the teacher wanted me to show my work. You can tell me anything under the sun and be 100% correct. But if you don't show me why you're saying that, I got a little bit less credibility with what you're saying. Show your work. If you're saying that the camera's inconsistent, show me why the camera's inconsistent. If you're gonna tell me that video is trash or video sucks, show me why you're saying that, right? It's all about showing your work, man. All about showing your work. Yo, Ace, what's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? Companies are definitely doing the updates to fix any issues much faster. No, they definitely, especially Samsung. Like, I gotta give Samsung props for that, man. Because yo, Samsung 110% used to be trash when it came to fixing stuff and getting updates out. Samsung is now one of the best in terms of software updates. Like for my S21 Ultra, I got all of my security updates. I want to say, except for 1 month, I got all of my security updates within like the first week and a half of the new month. Like if we're going into October, I had my Samsung security update. I want to say no later than like October 10th, or not even that far in the month. I'm going to say like October 7th or 8th, right? Which is still pretty early in the month. Like Samsung has been doing the thing when it comes to getting their issues taken care of, for sure. Some want people to buy. Some want people to buy one device over another. And that's the part that irritates me, right? It's like because this kind of gets into the whole conversation of people talking about what are you carrying on the daily. I don't have a problem with answering that question because some people are just genuinely curious as to what works best for me in my workflow, which is fine. I don't have a problem answering it, but I think ultimately what it comes down to is why does it matter? Because what works for me in my workflow may not work for you in your workflow. So even if I decide to carry an iPhone all year, you know what I mean, and review Android phones here and there, that's because that's what works for me. But just because an iPhone works for me doesn't mean an iPhone's gonna work for you or for the next person. So it honestly shouldn't matter what people are carrying, as long as when they do that review, they're being fair and they're giving that other device a fair shot. Like people are getting mad at people who primarily use iPhones and saying that, you know, well, all they're gonna do is go back to their iPhone, which those people have to be upfront. Obviously, yes, I am an iPhone person, but I kind of have a little bit more respect for them to some degree because it's like they're trying something outside of their comfort zone. So where you may be comfortable using a Pixel or using a Samsung or using an iPhone, you're willing to step out and see what those other platforms have to offer, right? So you can be more informed and then you can inform others to make them more informed, right? You're paying that knowledge forward. So I definitely agree with that. Yo, y'all are killing it. Sense of I gotta catch up with y'all, man. Y'all killing it. People need to let people enjoy their tech. I don't care what anyone else is carrying. I'm enjoying. Yo, Gigi, same. Like for so many people to say like slab style smartphones are boring. I had probably the most fun this year with slab smartphones. Like if you look at even here in the States, right? Like I'm not even talking about what came out in terms of like imports and stuff like that, because that's a very important conversation for the rest of the world because they get all of that stuff. But even if we're looking at the United States as like a bubble and we look at the major players, which is Samsung, Apple, and we have Google, OnePlus, even like Sony and Microsoft, like literally in every category and not even just tying it to slabs, but just in every category, there's a device for everybody. If you're like a, you know, super hardcore photographer or videographer, like hardcore to the max, and you want a whole ecosystem of products that's going to work around that, Sony came out with something for you. If you want like the bleeding edge in terms of tech, well, Samsung came out with the Z Fold 3. If you want a dual display experience, you got Surface Duo 2. If you want a great slab style smartphone, Google, Apple, and Samsung put out the best slab style smartphones that I've seen in such a long, well, obviously it's going to be better than their predecessors, but just in terms of just being overall reliable, they put out the best slab smartphones that we've had in years. Like this year's offering for for those three and even four, because you could throw OnePlus in there as well. Like we had such good slab style smartphones this year, such good. Like I was they were talking to Eric yesterday on Wire Wednesday talking about like phone of the year, and me and Mims was talking in the in the chat, and I was like, bro, I can't pick one particular phone of the year. Like if I had to say the candidates for it, Pixel 6 Pro, iPhone 13 Pro Max and S21 Ultra. Like when I look at like the pillars of what make a great smartphone, I'm looking at display, design, performance, battery, and camera. All three of those devices, regardless of your subjective opinion, because some people prefer this picture to that picture from that phone to that phone, but just looking at it in a nutshell, all three of those phones deliver on all of those perfectly. Like they nail all of them. Like you're gonna get good battery out of all of them. iPhone might be the best, but you're getting good battery life on those other two as well. If you're looking at just point and shoot photography, you may say Pixel is the best, but the other two do it just as good. If you want to look at just versatility of the cameras and feature set, Samsung's got you because they offer everything under the kitchen sink, hoping you'll use something. You got Samsung for that. Like you have so many good options, man. I can't see how people are saying smartphones are boring or tech is boring. Like I had so much fun this year in terms of tech. I had so much fun between getting to try out crazy stuff like Surface Duo, the first generation, to getting the Z Fold, to using the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And for me, seeing that it's not just a 12S, but it is a pretty big update, to using the S21 Ultra, which was like a surprise hit for me because on paper, it didn't seem that drastically different over the S20 Ultra, to even like Pixel 6 Pro, where Google revamped pretty much everything about the phone over the course of a year. We got Google Silicon. We got a brand new overhauled operating system with Android 12. And we got a whole brand new engineered design for the Pixel 6. So it has been a great year for smartphones, man. I don't care what nobody say, yo. For real. T-Mobile rep told me they can't seem to keep Pixels in stock. So there's a ton of Pixel sales daily. They've had to help. Yo, see that right there, man, it makes me so happy to see that. Like, it makes me so happy to see that. Like, I'm kind of getting behind, but I gotta catch up to you guys. But I gotta take a second to address this. Because, like, the thing is, regardless of how you feel about this phone, whether you like it, you hate it, whatever, you shouldn't want this phone to fail at this price point. Because what it does is it starts that conversation of, well, Google came out with a Pixel 6 Pro that everybody seems to forget. We're comparing to the $1,100 iPhone 13 Pro Max or the $1,200 Galaxy S21 Ultra. We're comparing this phone, which is $300 less than one and $200 less than the other one, to this $900 phone. Like, it's starting that conversation. We need that. So whether you like the Pixel, whether you don't like Google at all, you should be happy that this phone exists, because it's going to have that conversation for your brand of choice or your preference going forward. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I personally believe the S21 FE was ready. I believe that phone was ready, and Samsung was going to get like pretty much Samsung was going to try to throw that out at their bespoke Z Flip like unveil or announcement, and they saw that price point of that Pixel 6, and they was like, we need to take a step back a bit for this. Because I'm not saying that the Pixel 6 would have been a better phone in every category, but yo, for $100 more, because remember, the FE line comes in at $700. So for $100 more, I'm not going to recommend anybody pick up that Samsung device over that Pixel. That's just my personal opinion. But I mean, like, really, for $100 more? Like, look at how much phone you're getting for $600. I don't know, man. Makes you think. Samsung must not be giving that additional spit to Verizon reps. Yo, I was in a Twitter space, Hawks, and one of the guys there worked for T-Mobile and AT&T. He didn't work for Verizon though, but he was telling us, he was like, the whole like commission-based stuff, he was saying T-Mobile and AT&T don't do that anymore. Like, they literally don't do, like, if you sell a certain amount of Samsung, phones, you get this or that. Like, that's what I heard. Again, I don't work for them, so I don't know. But that's what I heard, that they no longer do that. So when a customer comes in, they can kind of get exactly what works for them or what works best for them. Savage say, yes, I call it the phone singularity. There we go. Hey, Gwendolyn, what's going on, man? I got to catch up with you guys. Yo, T-Mobile site always be broken. I be going on there like to try to like check my bill, and it'd be 100% broken. 100% broken, yo. Reviewers have been biased against Pixel since day one, 5 long years ago. Their lack of objectivity is bull, but haters will hate. It is what it is. So we have to fight. Yeah, and I'm like I said, I don't even know if it's so much. I don't know if it's so much like they're just being biased against it or just hating it, as to they're not spending as much time with it. Like the thing about like the Pixel line is a lot of like the extra features and stuff like that, they don't sound sexy on paper. Super enhanced tensor voice dictation doesn't sound sexy on a spec sheet or on paper, right? Call screening doesn't sound sexy on paper, but those are features that I use every single day. So like I said, I don't know, man. It gets tough. It gets tough. Like I said, I never want to knock them for not doing like longer form coverage or taking longer to do their reviews, because I don't know what their schedule looks like. It's none of my business, and I don't envy their job at all in that sense. But I could definitely say I would love for these manufacturers to step up and say, you know what, we want a month minimum before you can put out a full review. Up until that point, you can do like small form videos here and there, or like, here's my impressions after 2 weeks. Here's how I feel after 3 weeks. Like Adam from Tech Odyssey, the Pixel's officially been out for a week. Team Pixel's had it for about 2 weeks at this point. He's already put out like 5 or 6 videos on Pixel 6 Pro, just talking about his usage, his battery, stuff like that. And I would love to see those type of conversations being had over time from some of like the larger channels, because obviously you're going to get that from down here, because we're not from down here, but you're going to get that from us who have a lot more time on our hands, right? Like you're going to get that. But when you get to that level, I don't, like I said, I don't know how it goes, man, but I would love to see like a, 3-month review of the Pixel 6 Pro from MKBHD or like Super SAF or something. Like I would love to see that. Now, if they have the time, that's neither here nor there, none of my business, but I would love to see it. Yo, Kia, what's going on? Hope everything is good with you. Hey, Tech Loving Mama, what's going on? Hope everything is good with you. Juan said, tech is boring. Large tech reviewers in between Samsung and Apple announcements. Yeah, I honestly don't know how tech could be boring, man. Like when you got so much stuff to play with on the market, like it's so much stuff to play with. So much stuff to play with. And to be honest, like some of them are so big that they could get their hands on pretty much anything. And like I said, it's not to cause any drama between, them or whatever, but it's like when you're that big, man, like you have access to pretty much everything. I can't imagine like hearing about this brand new concept phone being like the Duo 2 and not wanting to spend some like extended time with it to really get a feel for it. Like I can't imagine it. Like when I got my hands on the first Duo, man, like I literally didn't drop a video on that thing until like 3 weeks after I got it, because I wanted to spend that time with the device. Yo, James, what's going on, man? Hope everything is good with you. He said, guess who got an Apple card? Hey, you like, hey, who was it? Oh, it was Mims. Yo, you about to be buying all of us iPhones too, bro, with that $50,000 limit, bro. Or nah, maybe you'll go and get that Sierra Blue iPhone 13 Pro now, right? 1 terabyte? Yeah. Maybe you should go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, 504. Thank you, bro. Even like Jaime from over at Pocket Now, he was even talking about it. I think it was either him or Juan, but they were saying like they started to see a drop off in people watching like the After the Buzz videos and stuff like that. And I don't understand how. Like I honestly don't understand like how people could not be interested in that. Like especially if it's like most people or even like most tech enthusiasts who aren't going to get multiple devices. They may only get like 1 upgrade a year or something like that, right? So I can't imagine not wanting to watch those type of videos. I like providing that type of coverage, and I like watching that type of coverage because it's like your device can be in a dramatically different state from the time it launches until 6 or 7 months down the line. Like that's kind of why I feel like I had to go back and revisit the S21 Ultra, because initially when I got the phone, like it was in a pretty rough shape. Like it wasn't, and the thing about that is those were like Samsung brand new flagship specific like not features, but specific bugs. It wasn't like dealing with the Pixel where you're mainly dealing with bugs due to all devices running Android 12. Like if I go to an S21 Ultra, like take Android 12 for example. On my S21 Ultra, I loaded the beta, and within like a day, I went right back down to Android 11 on it because it was that bad. Like it was already bad just because you could tell it wasn't fully optimized, but the same stuff that I was having on my Pixel, I was having on that. Like but on my Pixel, I haven't had like system UI crashes or nothing like that. But like on my Samsung device, I had system UI crashes. I had YouTube Studio crashing out, Twitter crashing out. Like I had all of those same issues. So it's like it's definitely fundamental to Android 12. I just can't wait to see what state this device is going to be in and to see if people are really going to change their tune when the Pixel 6 Pro gets a couple of updates under its belt. Because the only thing that I've really been hearing people talk about or like, and I'm not going to say complain, because if you're having a bad experience, you're having a bad experience. You have every right to voice that. But the only thing that I've really been hearing people talk negatively about is the fingerprint sensor, which I will admit, while it's not the fastest, I haven't had an issue in terms of it being accurate. Like every time I want to get into my phone, I can get into my phone. But it's definitely not as fast as I would like. Like I'm used to, like on the S21 Ultra, I can pretty much just tap it, like just, and I'm in, right? And it's still secure, like no one else can get in, right? So I'm kind of used to that aspect of it. So to go to something where I kind of have to press hold and kind of wait for that beat is kind of, like I said, it doesn't kill the experience for me, but I would definitely like to see them speed that up. But the only things that I've been, like I said, really hearing people talk about or kind of have anything negative to say about is the fingerprint sensor and Android 12. Like that's literally it. Like when it comes to this device by itself, man, like I feel like the general consensus is that it's a great device. Like it's a great device hampered by the bugs and stuff lingering from Android 12. But supposedly the update in December is supposed to be pretty major. Supposedly, like I said, that's always rumors. We don't know about it until it actually drops, but supposedly it's going to be pretty substantial. Like it's going to be pretty substantial. Shark said, James, don't get all bougie on us now. Tim Cook needs to go up on my limit. Yo, you got that 50K. You buying all of us iPhones, man. What you talking about? After the Buzz was fire. Me too. Because like what people don't understand is like these devices are aging so much better than they used to. Like Juan was just saying, I was watching I forget what it's called, but his Monday live stream / podcast. I was watching this week's where he was talking about his Pixel 4 XL actually saw a gain in performance, like versus say like the S21 Ultra over this time frame. I haven't seen like a boost to performance or anything like that. I mean, they've added new features, but in terms of like performance, I haven't seen a boost or anything like that. Same thing with Apple. Like you got a ton of overhead, but I'm not seeing it tap into that overhead. So like I said, man, like devices are overall just getting significantly better in terms of how they're supported down the line. So series like After the Buzz and just follow-up coverage as a whole is more necessary than ever. Like keeping consumers informed on how these devices are aging is just more important than ever, period. Jafar Evans said, what I love about the Pixels is those feature drops, and with this big facts right there, because I think the first one is going to be dropping in January, because the phone came out October, so November, December, January, I think, is every 3 months if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, man, and that's another aspect of it. Like with those Pixel drops, you're getting it's like you're guaranteed brand new features. Like it's not like, oh, it's just a point update that you don't really know what changed or what bugs got squashed. Like no, Pixel drops are literal like feature, like you get brand new feature sets and stuff like that. So I honestly, man, like I just don't know, but like I said, man, I can't wait to see what kind of state this device is going to be in within like a month or two, maybe 3 months tops. Like it's going to be extremely solid, right? And like even for the people who like return theirs, like Patar over at Direct Tech, he was like, yo, like I don't feel comfortable reviewing it in the shape that it's in because I don't want to bash the device for Android 12 issues, which I told him, I said, that's 100% justifiable. Like at the end of the day, man, it's your money. So if you don't feel comfortable, send it back and buy it again when you feel comfortable. Like that's your money. Like Google's not sending you a device for free and nobody's paying your bills to tell you what to buy and what not to buy. So ultimately, man, like do what's best for you. Like I said, I have more respect for someone who's going to say, you know what, I know that this isn't the phone's fault, but it's annoying enough for me to return it. So I'm going to wait to do a review on this particular device. And so I feel as though the software is where it should be. Like I have respect for you for doing that. Right. So it is what it is. You said Tim Cook wants you to be, yeah, right. Tim Cook wants you to burn through that limit in Apple products, bro. You crazy. Pixel 4 XL on Android 12 got about 10% faster at heavy lifting tasks. Like, see, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, and that's with them using a Snapdragon chip, not using their own processor. Like, I honestly think people are looking at Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro way too short term. I don't think that with this phone in particular, I don't think that this conversation ends after like a month and a half review period. If that makes sense, and it may not make sense. I know I'm kind of explaining it weird, but I don't think that this ends after like a month and a half. I think that this is one that we need to get on the train and really ride the train on, because we don't know what Tensor is going to look like in 5 or 6 months, right? I kind of look at this how we look at brand new console releases. Like when PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X first came out, and even to this day, there's not a lot of games that fully take advantage of the hardware of the hardware of the next gen consoles. And I kind of felt like Tensor is in that same ballpark. Like right now, it is very much like space, the final frontier. You know what I mean? Like where we have no idea what is going on, what's gonna happen, like all of that. I feel like this is very, very like we're not even scratching the surface of what we're gonna see down the road with Tensor. If that makes sense. Like I said, I'm probably explaining it super complicated and super wrong, man. But I don't think this is one where you give it the normal, here's my review after 1 month and a half, and then I never talk about the phone again. I think that this is one where we need to see what Tensor looks like at 3 months, at 6 months, at a year, when Pixel 7 Pro comes out. Like, I think that this is one that deserves that. Let's revisit this and truly see what happens, right? 100% brand new chip, man. 100% brand new chip. Google's in the driving seat in terms of optimizing their software. And like I said, if Google's past experience has showed us anything, is that they are willing to optimize their devices. Like they are willing to do that. So like I said, man, I understand people not necessarily wanting to fully recommend it now. Like I completely understand that argument, and I don't fault you for that. If your experience was bad, I can only say for me specifically, I'm in this for the long haul. Like I want to see what Tensor is going to look like in 3 to 4 months. I want to see what photos are going to look like when they can fully bake in all of the new computational algorithms and stuff that's currently not working with Pixel 6 Pro. Like people are only looking at it surface level. They're not trying to dive deep, which, like I said, not every reviewer does deep dives. I don't normally do deep dives and stuff like that either, but I like to be informed, right? So there's computational photography stuff that Google's working on that's not even fully baked into Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro yet. Like everybody's talking about portrait mode took a step back and this and that in terms of edge detection and stuff. Like, dude, they went to a completely brand new sensors, and it's not me giving them a pass. I'm just saying they went to a completely brand new sensor, and supposedly they're retraining their algorithm, or they're actually retraining it for portrait mode. So like I said, man, this is not like a kind of quick one and done situation or anything like that. I think that we honestly need to give this some time and kind of see where it goes, man. But I'm gonna get through these comments here, man. And like I said, I'm not sure if you guys heard about it, but supposedly we got some more information about Pixel Fold, which people are talking about when it comes to Pixel Fold. It may have the Pixel 5's camera set. Is that something that bothers you? I know how we feel about like the Z Fold 3's camera set, you know, being a step back and not being the latest. Do we feel the same? How do we feel about that? I'm just curious what you guys think. I know how I feel about it, but I want to know how you guys feel. They also say that Pixel 6 Pro can't take macro photos, something I don't really care about. When Tashaka Armstrong. Yeah, and I think what it is when people are saying it can't take macro shots, is they're looking at it from the standpoint of like, if I go in extra close with the ultra wide camera and it, you know, shifts into macro mode, Pixel doesn't have that, which it technically speaking, it doesn't, right? But my biggest problem with using macro mode on like the S21 Ultra or the iPhone is that when you get up that close, you normally cast a shadow on your subject. So like if I'm trying to do it on a flower, it casts a whole shadow on the subject. So if you don't see a lot of macro photography stuff in my reviews, man, like that's most of the time the reason why. Like I honestly don't like using it. Like I don't, because like when I get that close, I'm casting a shadow over my subject. So I kind of steer clear from it. I'd much rather zoom in on it. But again, that's just me. I honestly think that people only try to say that because of the fact that it's one thing that the Pixel doesn't have that other smartphones have, right? No one's talking about the way better voice dictation or call screening, because those are features that the Pixel has, but no other phone has. So like I said, it's definitely like Old Dad Tech would say, moving the goalpost. Macro photography wasn't super important until the iPhone could do it. Now that macro mode is on the iPhone, everybody's like, oh my God, everybody needs to have it. Like, dude, okay, I get it. I get it. Apple's usually super late in terms of getting new features and stuff like that. But the lack of macro definitely doesn't feel like a deal breaker to me personally. One, if only Android 12 could improve the Pixel 4 XL's battery life or capacity. Yo, I'm waiting for that software update for every phone, man. I wish that we could get a software update to like improve your battery capacity. That would be hilarious, man. Now, in terms of battery life, I have seen software updates improve battery life. Like with Xiaomi with the Mi 11, I got a software update that gave me some better battery life. With Pixel 5, I had really good battery life out of the gate. And then when I got a Pixel 5 later or earlier this year, but later on in the Pixel 5's life cycle, I got great battery life on Android 11. So I have seen it get better in terms of life. Capacity through a software update would be absolute fire. Yo, Jason, what's going on, my dude? You are perfectly fine, man. You are perfectly fine. Let me see here. Remember when we used to call macro a lame gimmick? Now that the iPhone has it, any phone that doesn't have it is a deal breaker. And that'll always be my thing. Like, I don't understand why, because a smartphone doesn't have something, it has to be a deal breaker, right? Like that whole argument has honestly never made sense to me. Like, oh, hold on, guys. My bad. Gotta read that down. I'm not sure what was going on with that. That was weird. But yeah, like I've never understood that personally. Like, I get it. I want consistency across the board. Would I like 4K 60 on all the cameras? Absolutely, 100% I would. But at the end of the day, like, am I going to crucify the Pixel for not having 4K 60 on all the cameras? No. I definitely would like to see them add it. But I can say for me, and we'll probably go here for like another 10 minutes or so. Got to help the missus with the baby. I just heard him crying over there. But I can say for me, when it comes to 4K 60, it all kind of comes down to being able to switch between the lenses. I still don't think that there's a smartphone on the market that can truly go between all like actually cycle between all the lenses at 4K 60. Like you're getting a digital crop in, and if you're ultra wide cropping in, you're getting a digital crop of the ultra wide. I don't think any smartphone, and like I said, you guys will correct me if I'm wrong. Like you guys are definitely gonna correct me if I'm wrong. I know that for a fact. But I don't think that there's another smartphone on the market that can do it at 4K 60. I know 4K 30, which is what I always record. I record everything in 4K 30, to be 100% honest with you, just because I like the versatility of being able to switch between all the lenses at a dime and not have to stop the recording. Because the thing about shooting 4K 60 is literally like the thing about shooting 4K 60 on all the lenses is when you want to do it and you want to switch, you have to stop the recording, switch to the lens, and then start recording again, which in my opinion takes me out of the whole immersiveness that's shooting this video. Like if I'm, say, a tourist in a new city and I'm walking down and I'm looking at the street and then I see this big building and I want to zoom in, I don't want to have to stop the recording, switch to the telephoto, then start the recording again. I just want to just zoom in. 4K 30 allows you to do that. So I can say for me personally, until smartphones are switching between all those lenses at 4K 60, and I mean actually optically switching between them all, 4K 60 in my opinion won't be that big of a deal. For me, just for me. Pixel 6 is going to be harder to track for updates, not just OTA, but adaptive connectivity service. I just got an update for that too, Juan, which is crazy. Android intelligence and private compute services all update separate. Yeah, I want to say some of them update, well, not some of them. Those ones update in the Play Store. I literally just got an update for the adaptive connectivity services, which I wasn't having any like Bluetooth issues or anything like that. I mean, it disconnected one time from my car, but I just kind of chalked it up to whatever. But yeah, like I actually saw that, which is dope, and I like that they do it that way, right? Like they kind of put some of those, like the whole system web viewer, which like your web-based applications like Twitter and YouTube, like they all kind of depend on that backbone to work. So like the whole issue with Twitter, if it turns out that it is an issue with Android 12, well, Google can push out an update to the system web viewer and it's fixed, right? So it's not the same situation as it is with, say, Apple, where you have to wait for an entire like point update. Because when you got to wait for that point update, they got to check the rest of the code to try to make sure that they don't break anything else, right? So I was thinking about that too. I wonder if they can squash a lot of the bugs and jank that we have with Android 12 with those like Play Store updates. I know me, I'm like, every time I wake up in the morning, check for updates. I'm constantly checking for updates, updating everything. Because as you're updating stuff, you're going to be updating your third-party apps too, which they could be taking advantage of Android 12 or like finally pushing their Android 12 update, right? So you kind of got to just hit that check for updates button and keep it moving. 504 crazy. He said, "Oh, let me get a close up of that ant. Not one average consumer ever." Yo, real talk, man. When it comes to getting like super close with macro, like I definitely see that it's fun, especially like those like eye shots. Like those are really fun to see and look at. But I can say like for me personally, man, I'm not doing a ton of macro photography. Like I'm honestly not. Like when it comes to what I use my smartphone like camera system for the most is like my kids, or like if I go somewhere that I've never been, like how we went to Halloween Horror Nights, I took a ton of pictures. If we go out of town, I'm taking a ton of pictures, but mainly it's my kids, man. So for me, I want the best camera to capture those type of moments. So things like face unblur are huge for me. Like I've already seen face unblur save dozens of pictures for me. And like I was talking to Barry and all the guys when we did Galen's podcast, which, yo, check out his podcast we did on the Pixel 6. That thing was fire. Like that was probably one of the most fun live streams I've ever been a part of. Like so much good information going around, so many great creators just talking about their experience, whether it was good or bad. Like it was such a good time. Like it was such a good time. Definitely make sure you guys go check that out. Galen's Gadgets, man. Check them out. That live stream was absolute fire, man. I had a blast being on there. But yeah, like when it comes to, like I said, taking photos, it's mainly just of my kids, dude. Like I'm not one of those people who are just going crazy taking pictures of every little flower and stuff like that. Like camera comparisons are one thing because it's kind of tough to do camera comparisons of like moving things because you could get a different angle in one shot and kind of mess it up in the other one. So kind of gets tough. But what I was talking about with face unblur, the thing that I like the most about it is the fact that it's automatic. I don't have to think about it. I just snap the picture. And if it detects that the face was blurry, it stitches that face in from the ultra wide. So I love features like that where it's there when I need it, and when I don't need it, I would never know that it was there. Like I absolutely love features like that, right? Like I hate having to, and I know it probably sounds super, super lazy, but I hate having to go in and configure a bunch of stuff. Like when it comes to battery life, managing my screen brightness, and I'd never want to do that stuff. Like I'm the one who will leave like auto brightness on and just forget about it because I don't like having to go in and manage settings. I want to take my phone out the box, set it up that initial time the way I like it, and then just use the phone and not even think about it. And I can say like Pixel, iPhone, definitely get me there. S21 Ultra, man, a little tough, little tough. It can get me there at times, but I'm finding I do have to mess with some settings here and there. Jason C said, I'm demanding 12K 120. Yo, the day we see that on a smartphone, man, I'm done. The only phone I know that can swap from main to ultra wide 4K 60 is the OnePlus 9 Pro, but it can't shoot 4K from the. Yeah, see, it's like it's always some type of like but, right? So until we find a smartphone that can do 4K 60 on everything, man, I'm kind of gonna chill at I'm gonna kind of chill at 4K 30 because I love that versatility, like being able to just on the fly switch. Yo, Scoop, what's going on, man? No, and you're right about this. It is a heavy task, and I think that's why no one's tried to do it yet, right? Like it definitely. I'm not belittling the amount of processing needed or any of that for it. Like I'm not belittling any of that, man, because I'm sure if it could be done, somebody would have done it by now, right? Like somebody in the game would have done it. I don't think that it's a feature that people just. Nah, we just won't add that. Like, I highly doubt that. Like, someone would have tried to be first with that. Even if it was a little janky, somebody would have tried to do it. I just feel like it's so much processing power needed. We might have to wait a little bit, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine shooting with 4K 30 until that point. I'm good with that. Yo, Renz, you're good, man. Like I said, we're kind of wrapping up in about like, 2 or 3 minutes or so. Got to go handle the little one, but you can always catch that replay, man. Hashtag replay squad, bro, for real. Yo, Project Mainline. There you go. Project Mainline is boss, bro. Little initiatives like that from Google, man, just make so much sense, but they don't make it on a spec sheet. They don't make it in reviews. Like people don't talk about that stuff, man. Because again, it's not sexy. Like it's not sexy to say, well, you can sit here and hold this call for me while I'm on the line with customer service. Or like I put in my tweet, man, like the voice dictation on the Pixel 6 Pro, like literally just exploded my brain today. Like for those that don't know, I'm a college student. I'm going to school for just like a general a general IT degree, and I have to do discussions every week. And I have 4 discussions. It's 2 classes that I'm in right now, and each have 2 discussions. And I have to do the base discussion and then respond to 2 peers per discussion. So we're looking at well over 1,000 words because you got to do 100 for your actual base and then 50 for your responses. So I'm literally, and I mean, this typing would normally take me, with errors typing and backspacing and stuff, maybe like 30, 40 minutes or so. But I'm literally like fussy baby in one arm because he just wants to be held and he's being a fussy boy. Kids, it is what it is. And then my girlfriend is vacuuming like right next to me. And I'm sitting there dictating my entire college discussion on the dictation. And it's just nailing it. The only thing that I had an issue with is not even really an issue, but I had to like emphasize like exclamation points. Like I normally start off my response post with like awesome post. And I usually put an exclamation point. And with Pixel, I had to be like, awesome post, like kind of exaggerate how I would say it a little bit for it to pick it up, but it picked it up every time. The rest of the punctuation, commas, everything was super accurately placed. Like it did such a great job. Like man, like I can say like that is a game changer for me. That is a game changer for me because like I can say we all have that one friend or relative. You're in the car with them in the passenger seat. They get to a red light and they're literally doing this. Or traffic's moving a little slow and they're like this, and you're about ready to punch them in the face. Like, bro, get off your phone. You're driving, right? So voice dictation, you can literally just and be wording off whatever you're trying to say, and you can say send at the end. You don't have to hit a button to send the text. You can say send, and the Pixel's smart enough to know you actually mean send the message or send the email or whatever you're doing, right? Like stuff like that, man. It's not sexy, but it is hella useful, yo. How about that USB-C iPhone going for 30K? Man, when he first posted that, I was like, yo, how much you charging to do mine? Because I would love USB-C on my iPhone. And like, bro, for me, I don't even need data transfer. Just give me USB-C charging. And you've literally made my life so much easier at that point. Because when it comes to like transferring files from my iPhone, I just use AirDrop to the Mac. But like for charging, like actual charging is where it becomes an inconvenience. Like if I like before when I would go out of town and I would have to like pack chargers and stuff, I got to bring a charger for the Apple Watch. I got to bring a charger for the iPhone. And then you got a separate charger for your Mac. Like, bro, it's just way too much. Just give me USB-C for charging. I can literally bring at that point 2 chargers when I'm using an iPhone. Because right now with on the Android side, I'm bringing 1 charger. I literally just pack my Spigen Arc Station. Like I literally just packed the Spigen Arc Station and I'm good. I can charge my laptop, I can charge my phone, and then my watch, I use reverse wireless charging. So like I'll set up my phone as like a wireless charging mat and just lay my watch on it and I'm good to go. I talked to Google and the Twitter situation is in the works. They have a team working. I see, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's always good to hear. Like Google is one of the ones I can say, even though they give you really canned responses sometimes, like they are pretty responsive. Like for manufacturers, the Made by Google team, they're always replying back to people, man. So it's always good to kind of have that face to face. And like for the people who are in Team Pixel, because I'm not, so I have no idea how that whole thing goes. But like if they give anyone an avenue to like voice feedback or their concerns and they can get it like to engineering or something, talk to them about it. I'm not saying that no one's done that. I'm just saying if that's an option and no one's doing it, why are we not doing that? Like you kind of got a direct line that like me as the person just going to Best Buy and buying this doesn't have. So let's not be so quick to bash rather than be a part of the solution and show your work. I'm tired of people doing hot takes. Hot take, iOS is better than Android. No cap. Hot take, Android is the best operating system ever. Hot take. I'm so tired of that. Like I see those and just throw up a little bit inside. I see those and just throw up inside. Like stop making hot takes. Stop making hot takes. Because most of the time when you make a hot take, it's your preference that you're trying to push on everybody else. Stop it. Stop it. I get talking about your experience, but stop it with the hot takes. All right? Stop it. It is not necessary. Okay, I need to check. I think he means Google Store updates and not just Android 12 updates. Remember, I'm new to. Oh, got you. Yeah. So Ace. So with iOS, man, like if there's like a bug or something, you're used to having to wait for like a point update, like a 15.0.1, right? With Android, it's not the same. So with Android, a lot of the like system level things are in the Play Store. So take like I was saying earlier, the whole system web view is what it's called, something like that. But system web view is kind of what powers like the Twitter app and the YouTube Studio app, stuff like that. That's actually loaded in the Play Store. So Google can push an update to that specifically without having to update the operating system. So just the way that they do their updates is just a little bit different. Mary said, man, Ike, you were too kind, my dude. You made me pull. Nah, man. Hey, I meant it. I turned off of adaptive brightness on the Pixel 6 Pro. The switch. Yeah, sometimes it can definitely be a little jarring. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's just how Google kind of tunes it. But no, I've definitely noticed it can be a bit jarring. Like it can be a bit like in your face, like 1 minute bright and just dark. So I have seen that. Like I said, I don't know if that's a bug, but yeah. How about those Z Fold 3? And, yo, Marcus, I said at the beginning of the stream, I literally loaded Android 12 Beta 1 on my S21 Ultra, and within like a day, I was back on Android 11. It was that bad. Like, once I saw how bad that was, I promised myself I would never put another beta on any of my Samsung devices ever. So everybody's doing Android 12 right now, man. I hope they're having a great time with that. Me personally, I'm sticking my butt on Android 11 until Samsung pushes out that stable version. For real, for real. Hey, what's going on, Galen? What's up? What's up? What's up? I see that. I ain't messing with you, man. I'm happy we getting ready to end this joint. Yeah, hold on. I'm about to have to go ahead and ixnay this homie. I don't know where he going with that. Joe Button. I don't see it. I've gotten B.O.B., but I don't know about Joe Button. So we're going to go ahead and just nix that dude right on up out of here. It is what it is, man. Cybersecurity is where it's at. Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm kind of going at a pretty slow pace, man. Like I said, with the kid and working still, man. Like, it is what it is. Hey, Savage said, at ease, at ease. Yo, last time I checked, it was like 84K. So if it's at 100K now, like, that's insanity, bro. That's insanity. Hot takes suck. Yo, facts. Yeah, we got him up out of here. I don't know what was going on, bro. I don't know what was going on with homie there, but hey, we had to just bounce him on up out of here. It is what it is. It's only a few of us in here, so it's not that big of a deal, man. Hot takes, clickbait to get, yeah, facts. Big facts. People need to learn to say statements like Android is better than Apple for me because it depends on the user. People like to not add the in my opinion or 100% Tech Love Mama. Because like I said, I would look at it 100% differently if people were just like, you know, for me and my workflow, this is what works best. I can't fault you for that because that's just your workflow. I can't be mad at that. But we're gonna finish out these last few comments. We're gonna finish out these last few messages here. Yo, Scoop, you're right. It was a beta. I gotta give them that, but that's why I said I rolled my happy behind back to stable land. And when the beta is done and they get that stable release, I'll revisit it. I didn't go on Twitter and bash them. I didn't make a video saying Samsung sucks. Their beta software is trash. I had my own personal experience and I downgraded and I ran. I was like that little GIF with the little baby who runs in and then runs back out. That was me. Because like I said, I didn't get on any avenues and I didn't. Okay, there we go. I didn't have any avenues or anything like that with like Twitter or making videos or none of that. Like I'm not gonna bash them over a beta. You know, I'm not gonna do that to them. With that iPhone going for 50K, I know the price for that engineer. Oh, to put USB-C on that iPhone of yours. Man, yo, you right about that. Because he definitely going to want some guap, yo, for real. Yeah, B.O.B. B.O.B. Galen said I can see it. I've gotten B.O.B., man. I've gotten B.O.B. I have. Who else? B.O.B. Big Sean, which I didn't see that. I didn't see Big Sean. But B.O.B.'s like the one. Like how they say all that tech look like G-Eazy. I've gotten B.O.B. like about that much, just not from the tech community, which is dope. But I know it's going to be a running joke now. I'm waiting for Scoop to kill me with the Photoshop, yo. Yo, you're climbing I-type. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I have a couple, but I definitely got to ask some more, Juan, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, man. But just like you said, man, I'm starting to climb. I gotta keep that in the back of my head. I can't run things the way that I've been running them previously. Gotta elevate the mentality as well, man, because they are out here. Without hot takes, what will Jason C tweet about? God, that's too funny, man. Developers make the software and we are not giving credit. Hey man, I say special shout out to all developers out there because y'all have extremely difficult jobs and I don't envy y'all because y'all do one thing wrong and literally it's y'all done killed the whole code. Y'all done broke cellular networking or some crap. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Hot takes are an art form. It's all hot. And that right there is key. Like I don't necessarily have a problem with people asking a question to start a conversation because a lot of the times with Jason, I can say specifically, the things that he's asking is to start a conversation. I don't mind having that conversation, right? It's just when people make blanket statements and push it off as fact on the rest of the world, like iPhone takes the best pictures out of everybody, or Samsung takes the best pictures, or Pixel takes the best pictures. Like that's all subjective. You may not like Pixel photos. It's definitely a style. It's your preference. Hey, y'all heard the woman. Don't forget to hit that like button, man. We about on our way out here. I said that like 10 minutes ago, but we really are though. I promise. Big Sean, your average consumer. Hey, Judner, man. Judner seems like a pretty chill dude, man. I don't know him personally, but he seems pretty chill, yo. He said, what do you mean looks like Oh, yo, David, yo, he is G-Eazy in disguise, man. I don't care what nobody say. Savage, you gotta Google him. He's a rapper, dude. He's a rapper. Hey, what's going on? No problem, man. It is all good, bro. You gotta catch the replay because we're getting ready to head out of here, but no problem at all. What up? Savage, which one of y'all developed the notch? I'm dead right now. Yo, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know. I got you next week on the monitor. No, Bear. It's all, bro. Like, dude, I'm not like I look at it like this, bro. And Juan said it best. Like, I'm climbing, so I'm prepared, dude. Like, I'm fine. You and LaShawn do a great job. Like you guys have already done so much for me, man. And this is like, I ain't trying to get sappy before we head out, but for real though, like y'all have done so much for me, man. I can't expect y'all to do everything. So like I said, you know, I'm just gonna take Juan's advice and just add some more people to it to kind of help out. No big deal. I ain't making just anybody no mod. You know what I mean? Not just anybody gets a wrench. I'm not with that. But like I said, I'll definitely make some more mods and stuff like that. It ain't that big of a deal. Like I said, man, me and my brother and my sister, bro, like this is the last thing, and I promise you we're getting up out of here, y'all. But turn the comments off and switch over, because if I keep seeing chats, I'm gonna keep reading them. But nah, like just real talk. Like me and my brother and my sister, like we grew up just roasting each other, like crazily roasting each other. So in all honesty, with them talking the little crap that they was talking, man, I've heard way worse than that. Like that's nothing, bro. That's nothing. I was always raised where it's like, if people not hating or talking trash to you, man, you ain't doing it right. So on that note, man, we gonna end it on that. Yo, LaShawn, I just said, man, don't worry about it. Chill. You good. You still my homie, man. It's all good. Y'all, yo, like I said, y'all are good, man. Y'all do more than enough for not just me, but for this community. So, because y'all are like top flight security of the world. So don't worry about it. It's all good, man. It's just a little troll who ain't got nothing better to do than hop in my chat and try to talk trash. It's okay. We good. But with that, man, like I said, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Tomorrow, got the homie. Speaking of LaShawn, we got, I don't know if it's gonna be ignorant hours or intelligent hours, but it's gonna be one of the two. Make sure y'all show up, man. We gotta get this man to 1,000 so we can get the full-blown ignorant hours back on the members only. So I keep saying it. Let's keep pushing and get this man to 1,000, man. He's on tomorrow. Also tomorrow, the case journey for the Pixel 6 Pro starts. So definitely tune into that. I'm going to drop that one at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Not sure about all the conversions, so you got to do that yourself. But 1 p.m. Eastern time, we will begin the case journey for the Pixel 6 Pro. So definitely appreciate everybody for coming out, man. It's been a great stream, especially the first one back, man. Super appreciative for all of y'all. Shout out to everybody that made it live. Shout out to everybody in the replay squad who'll check it after the fact. Just thanks, man. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, stay up. Keep it going. Peace.